winning the Masters is kind of more of a dream than a goal. It's something that obviously Trevor was able to accomplish. But for so many of our junior golfers that download our podcast or watch us on our YouTube channel, playing college golf, Aaron, is the ultimate goal. And for more on how best to do that, we welcome in Mike Smith from Fore College Golf.
Hey, Mike, thanks for coming on to our podcast. My first question to you is, when exactly should junior golfers start to contact college coaches?
Great question, Aaron. First things first, I would say June 15th after your sophomore year. That is the first date that coaches can actually contact you. But that's a good way you pose that question. When is the first date that players or I can contact coaches? And many people in my profession say June 15th or after. I would say the preparation for that, the actually like getting together your marketing portfolio, right? Having a resume, having a swing video, having an introduction letter, right? That shows coaches how interested you are some things that you can start before that June 15th date. So as far as reaching out to them, you can actually reach out to them via email before that June 15th date just to inform them and give them enough information about you as a recruit. And that can actually give you a leg up on your competition. But it really does depend on your academic timeline and your athletic timeline. If you're a little bit later to the game, you don't need to be reaching out to coaches on June 15th. But if you're a stud player, right, if you're top 100 in your class, you need to be reaching out to those coaches before June 15th. Great question.
Mike, I think about whether you're on the PGA Tour or all the way down to junior golf. If you're on the PGA Tour, you want to win major championships. But let's be honest, it's only 4 times a year that a player is able to win a major championship. In junior golf, everyone wants to play at one of the big powerhouses, but it also, there's only so many spots. For the junior golfer, how do they go about being realistic and finding out what kind of school is right for them?
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is I like to take a 3-prong approach to that, right? Think about the academic side of things. Think about the athletic side of things, and also think about the social side of things. We can dig into that just a bit. So the academics, right? So not only finding the right school for you, but making sure it has your proposed major. Also, the class sizes are appropriate for your style of learning, right? There's some things academically you could think about. Athletically, the facilities, the coaches, the guys on the team, what they've accomplished and what their level of play is. Some things to consider. And then socially, I don't just mean looking at it in terms of a party school. I mean in terms of if you weren't an athlete at that school, would you still enjoy going to that school, right? It could be the vibe of the campus. It could be more of the weather or the climate. All those things are factored in.
Yeah, let's say a junior golfer has his eyes on a college he really likes. Obviously, with our current circumstances, he can't go meet the college coach in person. What would be the best way currently to reach out to those coaches and tell them that you're interested?
Yeah, Aaron, great point. Right now, the Division I coaches are in a dead period, but that's D1 only. And what a dead period basically means is there's no recruiting off campus or on campus. Okay, but to answer your question more specifically, there are a few ways around it. A few of my guys have actually done FaceTimes with the coach while they're on campus. So the coach can't be there with you, but you can certainly do electronic communication, whether it's a phone call or a FaceTime or a Zoom like we're on right now, and contact the coach that way. And as much as I would say, it is tough to get outside the house right now and go on visits, I still think it's a very, very important piece of the process. So my advice would be if you are capable of visiting these college campuses, try to get there whether it's with the coach or not. It's still very valuable for you to step foot on campus and actually put your boots on the ground.
Great question, Aaron. Last thing, Michael, we'll let you go. And this just has to do with the fact that if you're a junior golfer that doesn't have that ranking necessarily that you described, but in your heart that you're better than maybe your scores indicate right now, and you feel like you're trending and you're going to get better. In that situation, do you hold out and continue to hold out, or do you recommend just trying to take what's available?
I always say, now, in terms of a gap year, Ryan, I always say you need to be patiently proactive, right? So if you're looking ahead, Now, you might think that's a bit of an oxymoron, right? Being patient and proactive at the same time. But that really is what's key in the recruiting process. We not only need to be proactive in the sense that we're constantly staying on top and structuring our emails and our phone calls, but we're being patient in the sense that realizing that these opportunities might not come knocking on our door tomorrow. We might have to wait for them for weeks, if not months. And then discussing and really realizing the idea of a gap year in this coronavirus that we're in and the situation that we're facing today. The 2021s, 22s, it's become a big problem because not only the extension of eligibility that was granted to the seniors, but also allowing the juniors, the sophomores, the freshmen to redshirt or also take that coronavirus year. So if you're a 2021 out there and you're thinking of redshirting, or if you're in college thinking about redshirting, or if you're a junior thinking about taking a gap year, it really just depends. I would say be honest. Speak with your team, speak to the people you trust around you, the people that have invested in you already, and make the most informed, well thought out decision that you possibly can.
Mike, for all the junior golfers watching or listening, how can they get a hold of you if they think that's the right move?
So my company is called Fore College Golf. You can find us at www.forecollegegolf.com or find us on Instagram and Facebook under the same handles.
Awesome. Great advice, Mike, all the way around. We appreciate it today, and certainly best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, Aaron, for having me. You guys are awesome.